Hi everyone, I'm Vicki Murphy. I am a Jira Line specialist at Expium, which is a Platinum Solutions partner with Atlassian. And as of December 2022, we are now a proud Vatlantis company. In this video, I will be breaking down the updates to Jira Align with the release of version 10.120, which was released to Jira Align instances on the continuous release track on May 12th, 2023. That will typically be your test or development environment if you have one. And it will be released to all other instances on May 26th, 2023. Let's go ahead and jump into these updates. First, Atlassian has announced that they will be removing the 15 pages that make up the quality module, which you see listed on the screen here, from Jira Align in the next release, release of version 10.121, which is currently scheduled for June 2023. The removal of this legacy functionality will be done in a phased approach. In version 10.121, the summary pages within the navigation panel, this is under the team level of the tool in the quality section, as you see in the screenshot on the slide. These will be removed in that version 10.121. One call out, the defects suite will remain available. It will be moved to the manage section of that team navigation panel. Objects like test cases and acceptance criteria and the ability to view objects on work item details panels will be removed in an additional future release, which Atlassian will announce at a later date. Atlassian does recommend that anyone using the quality functionality in Jira Align migrate their QA practices to Jira Software and explore marketplace add-ons if you're in need of enhanced functionality. Additionally, Atlassian does recommend capturing any records from these pages using screenshots or export functions where available prior to the release of version 10.121. Additionally, Atlassian has announced that they'll be removing 20 legacy reports in version 10.123, which is currently scheduled for August of 2023. You can see the reports listed here on this slide. In the release notes, Atlassian stated that the functionality of these reports is not providing significant value to users after viewing recent usage data, and some of the reports actually haven't been available to end users since the transition from Jira Align version 9x to the current 10x versions. The removal of this functionality will help the Jira Align development team streamline their code base, which will allow them to address defect fixes quicker as well as ship enhancements more quickly. Atlassian does recommend capturing any data from these reports prior to the release of version 10.123 using screenshots or export functions where available. The PI progress report displays a burn up and burn down chart by feature, as well as some charts by story, but the logic behind the feature-based reports is actually being updated with this release. Going forward, these charts will only show aligned story points, meaning a feature must be assigned to the PI being viewed, the PI selected in your context bar, and then child stories assigned to the same PI or unassigned backlog will be included in these charts. Child stories assigned to a different PI will not be included. Previously, child stories assigned to a different PI than their parent feature were included in these reports, so we will see that update going forward. For administrators syncing Jira Align to Jira Software, we will begin to see some improved warning messages in the Jira connector settings, specifically on the board mapping table. Now, when a board's associated project is removed from the project mapping table, we'll see a warning icon next to the board informing us that the project could not be found. Additionally, a warning modal will pop up when removing a project mapping, letting us know that board mappings are not automatically removed. For administrators syncing Jira Align to Azure DevOps, Atlassian has made some updates to the ADO connector. They did call out that these updates do not impact the functionality of the connector, but rather clean up some unused settings and reduce unnecessary manual setup of the connector. These updates include the internal log level time zone and instance URL settings will now be hidden as they are no longer needed for the connector to work. The scope path setting on the projects tab will be hidden for connectors using the multiple projects mode. This is because it is only applicable when using the single project mode. Additionally, the default user sync enable removed state, add hyperlink to ADO, and initial sync date from ADO settings will be moved to the items tab. You can see a screenshot of that here on my screen. And finally, newly created connectors will have some updates to default values, including the setting for support multiple projects will be set to true by default. This is because most customers use the multiple projects mode. And the delete action for all work items will be set to move to recycle bin. Let's go ahead and jump into Jira Align for our final update. Atlassian continues to make updates to the OKR Hub, also known as the Objective Tree View. The UI of this module was actually overhauled in 2022, and in the description of this video, we have a link to our deep dive video covering the full update. In this release, Atlassian has added the ability to rearrange the columns in this grid view of the OKR Hub. All columns except for the summary column will now be movable, and to rearrange them, you just hover over the column heading. You'll see these 9 little dots appear. You just simply click and drag to move it left or right to put these columns in whatever order works best for you. This release did include several defect fixes. Some highlights are incomplete stories for Kanban teams will now display on the PI cleanup report. We're going to see better syncing of the tags field in Jira Align with the labels field in Jira Software, and some improved loading experiences across some reports. As always, you can check out these defect fixes and any of the updates covered in this video in the release notes, which are linked in the description of this video. That is all for the release of version 10.120 to Jira Align. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck on your Jira Align journey.